Welcome to round number 3. Let's see if we can draw half as hot as we did last game. And this is not a bad start. It's not a bad start drawing half as hot as we did last game because this hand looks pretty great. Hard to ship hands with multiple Eldrazi temples. We do have a tough decision turn 1 though. And I think it's going to end on me playing Verdant Catacombs. I think blind, the chance that I need to use my Fatal Push on turn 1 is A, more important and more likely than the chance that I draw exactly Thought-Knot Seer off the top. Plus, if I draw Thought-Knot Seer off the top, I'm still kind of happy. So I think, all in all, I'm content with this line. Looks like we were fortunate and temporarily rewarded for such a thing. Do want to have a lot of green sources. I think it's worth the life here. Go ahead and fire that off. Gonna get this into play rather than hold up Fatal Push this time, but I don't love doing that considering that if they play like Devoted Druid here, this might prohibit me from casting Smasher next turn. And everything's just going according to plan here. I think I'd be even contented to trade the Scavenging Ooze for Nettle Sentinel, making like future Heritage Druids better, making my Fatal Push even better. Yeah, I figured my opponent might not be interested in that. You know, going back to our turn 1, maybe it's not as interesting as I thought. Because all I really lose by waiting, like by leading on Eldrazi Temple, is my potential to cast the Ooze on turn 2. I probably am supposed to lead on Eldrazi Temple blind. If I know the matchup, probably not. Blind though, I actually think I made the wrong choice. Yeah, I think I did it wrong. I mean, I was rewarded, but I think I was rewarded for the incorrect play. I'm going to use all my mana this turn, so no eating with the Ooze here. Yeah, I mean, surprise, our opponent's hand is just loaded. Heritage Druid being the dangerous card. After that, I guess Vizier is dangerous. They actually just like don't have payoffs in their hand either. We want to hold up Fatal Push. If our opponent like casts Heritage Druid, I respond by killing Nettle Sentinel. But we should just be able to close the game out here with opponent missing their land drops like that. These Lilianas are going to be an upgrade to the Veils by a significant margin. Slaughter Pact is probably worth it. Thoughtseize is in a weird space here. I would rather be countering all or killing all my opponent's stuff, but companies obviously make that difficult if they're resolving, and Thoughtseize is one of my ways to interact with that. Obviously, Thought-Knot Seer can do that job as well, but is much slower for that purpose. And then Maelstrom Pulse being a really slow removal spell might be difficult, right? It's like as slow as Slaughter Pact, but Slaughter Pact, obviously, we can still, you know, put stuff on the board while we cast our Slaughter Pact, which can be very relevant if you get to, like, Thought-Knot Seer Slaughter Pact. That's a pretty big turn, other than, like, you know, just cast Maelstrom Pulse. So let's see here. Mana Reshapers are going to be kind of weak. Oozes, I think, are okay in this matchup. Like, they can get big, they can buy you some time, but I don't think they're outstanding. I think I really do want these Thoughtseizes, but I know some people do not like them in this matchup because our opponent's deck has a lot of redundancy, but I think it's important just for us to be able to line up our answers with their threats, and I just don't have a ton of other ways to interact with them. And again, I think Matter Reshapers are just not really exciting here. They might get the chump block once. Maybe they hold my opponent's team back for a while. So maybe in that regard, they're a lot better than I'm giving them credit for. And the Mouse Repulses could be a lot better. So I could see making an argument for these, any number of these getting back in, and perhaps any number of our Thoughtseize getting out. Bearer of Silence and these, I think, are just far too slow veils. I really do not like in this matchup, and none of these really are doing anything for us. So that's really the only kind of distinction here. Maybe the third Ooze could get cut. An Endbringer, I could see one Endbringer getting the axe. I think the card is very good against their deck, but obviously, like, what I mean by that is I think the card is great against their deck when it's in play, since it's going to be able to kill a lot of stuff a lot of the time. But 4 of them on the draw, it's a 6-drop. Like, it's going to be kind of slow. I think I might get a Reshaper back. Again, I don't think it's outstanding, but maybe I do just need this Pulse. Just try the 1 Pulse, see how we feel about it. Sometimes you can really get value out of it if you're pretty lucky. It's definitely not an effect I want to flood on, but maybe the 1 is sufficient. This hand I'm pretty happy to keep. I have some concerns about it on the draw, but turn 2 Liliana on the play would be insane. On the draw might be a little slow here, but I think we're keeping, and I think it's important to stay proactive here, try to get to this Liliana and start getting stuff off the table. If my opponent has like an Elvish Archdruid here, though, obviously we get pretty punished for that, and I can't even really draw Fatal Push to alleviate that issue, considering. Opponent just goes for an Evolutionary Leap, though. So that's going to certainly help them try to outgrind here. I think I still just make the play, keep the board clear with my Planeswalker. Obviously, they get to sack it and get a new creature, but I think we're still doing that. These go on the bottom, right, in any order? I guess I should be reading this. Random order. Okay, got it. Doesn't really matter in this instance, but new Elvish Mystic and a Dwynen's Elite. So we do get to kill something this turn without a leap getting in the way. Fatal Push allowing us to kill another thing without leap getting in the way if we wish. Probably lead on Thoughtseize. Nothing in our opponent's hand. Wow. Okay. So we definitely kill as many things as possible here. I guess I save a life point because my cavern doesn't matter otherwise. Play our Mismatching Bird. Oh, they found another Dwynen's Elite. Well, that's going to make it tougher since that was basically a divination into 2 creatures, right? That was a good draw. Especially since we aggressively fired off our removal spell while our opponent was tapped out. And now we're bricking a little bit here. So now I actually feel like we're on the back foot. Felt like we were good, but with that draw, I feel like we are not in a great spot. Obviously, I do have this Thoughtseize to benefit me here off this leap, and I am most definitely, Sun Respect is interesting. I am most definitely taking a Dwynen's Elite, since that's basically another way for them to continue leaping forever. So we're going to take that, play the Swamp. We used this already, right? Yep. Could be correct to block Dwynen's Elite with a bird here. It's also possible I'm supposed to be minusing my Liliana, since, like, I don't know, with the Thoughtseize, oh man, they drew Summoner's Pact. Colossus, sure. I don't actually think that's that scary for... I guess it is. I guess it is just really bad for us. Both at Liliana. Now I really value my Liliana a lot more. Or my birds a lot more, rather. I think I take it, and now that they're tapped out on Leap again, I'm supposed to take the opportunity to kill this. I wonder if my opponent should have shocked here. Oops. Went straight into combat. That's okay. It's not going to change anything for us here. Make sure we don't have any yields on. A little bit of paranoia there, but that's okay. We'll fire this off rather than minus, considering that we have something to cast and also the opportunity to kill something before Leap punishes it. This ooze certainly can get large now. My opponent can't really attack with Colossus this turn, considering they have to pay for their Summoner's Pact. So we're getting back into an okay position. This game's been kind of swingy so far. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. There's the other tomb. But it does shock this time. And looks like they're just going to be passing after that. I am going to start eating things with this ooze. And I will just eat a bunch of creatures here. Blocking this Colossus gets a lot harder next turn, of course. I could shrink it with Liliana here rather than minus aggressively looking for a creature. Kind of like that. Then their attack's not so good. I could also just attack with my ooze and block with a bird. It's probably good for me to get aggressive here. Blocking with the bird also helps my oozes get bigger. Opponent just blocks there, so I have no reason to activate ooze now. They're going to leap it, I'm sure. Final Llanowar Elves. I think this is a minus Liliana turn. Pretty greedy, but we get a lot of hits in our deck. Let's see what we can get here. Looks like we double whiffed on black removal spells, though. It's not like those were going to be great. Don't think I play this wastes. I guess Pulse would have been fine. Still not something we're like super excited about, but this leap has been giving us issues here. It's going to make getting there with this ooze pretty difficult overall. All right. So opponent's attacking with Colossus. Yeah, we're just gonna block here. Get our mismatching bird out of there, you know, a little bit of extra value in that sense. All right, so one mystery card in our opponent's hand. Probably nothing, though. Let's go ahead and munch on some creatures. Might be wise to leave my bird for now. I guess I have another bird. I'll probably just eat it. My green mana is kind of taxed. I probably should have played this wastes last turn. Endbringer's a good one. So I like plus, then attack. Opponent will leap, but then they don't get to block. They hit Llanowar Elves. They're going infinite. How can we beat that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do get to eat here and still cast Endbringer and still block with my bird. So we will take that sequence. Sounds pretty good to me. All right. Got a couple big threats here. Opponent is just flooding. I mean, I guess they had a lot of lands early, but they're still drawing some lands here. Opts not to play Llanowar Elves, which I guess makes some sense. Since we would have just been able to kill it anyway. Looks like they're hoping like to have double activation, but we're just gonna say that it can't block and attempt to get in with our Scavenging Ooze. All right, looks like we got there. I will see you in the next round in just a moment.